let's go ahead and get started. 1 hour, we're going to talk about some motivation, some meditation, some inspiration. If it's not one of the three, I don't want it. Let's go ahead and get started looking at how we can utilize the mentality, how we can utilize the ability, how we can get down with ourselves to the point where the purpose and the ability inside of ourselves starts to radiate outwards. How we can start getting down with the challenges that we face off against, the places where we want to go, the things that we want to do. Also going to do a couple energy readings if people need those as well. But we got to start asking ourselves these types of questions. We got to start getting down with these kinds of challenges. And we got to start getting down with this kind of mentality. So as we put ourselves in a place where we're focusing, as we put ourselves in a place where we're facing off against things, we are always going to ask ourselves the question, is it me? Am I doing this for myself? Am I putting myself in the place where I'm allowing myself to grow? I'm allowing myself to be who I am inside, who the creator of the universe made me to be, the most high God. Am I giving myself the ability to have that purpose? Am I giving myself the ability to have that place? And so if you're waking up too many days in a row, as Steve Jobs says, and you're not being that person, you're not having that place for yourself, then something has to change. And so this is about that. This is about you. This is about your journey. This is about your path, your ability to be down with yourself to the place where the mentality starts to go within. And so this week is about organizing. It's about putting ourselves in a place where we're writing stuff down in such a way that it starts to happen for us, starts to happen with us. And so are we asking ourselves these types of questions? Are we giving ourselves permission to do it? And a lot of times the challenges that we're facing off against on the outside, they're actually coming from the inside. They're actually asking you the question, if you have what it takes. They're asking you if you could get down with yourself to that level where other people aren't willing to go, where other people aren't willing to ask themselves these questions. So let's start asking ourselves these questions. How much this physicality is related to our mentality? How much of the ability to bypass the things, that aren't meant for you is there? How do we put ourselves in a place where we're utilizing, the positivity and the negativities in our universe? And are you giving yourself the permission? So a lot of times that's what's going on in our life. That's what's happening in our day. And a lot of people don't see that, and then when they see it, it's almost like it's too late. So let's get into that mentality. Let's start getting ourselves down with those kinds of challenges, getting down with that person who really matters the most. You. Are you important? Do you feel that your goals are different than anybody else's? Or, are you asking yourself these types of questions, looking for the ability to be who you are on the inside, looking for you to face off against the things that nobody else would? And, what kinds of challenges are you making it through today? What kind of place do you want to live in? What kind of, reality do you want? Are you asking yourself these types of questions? And so that's where the work starts. People are going to be along their journey in different places and levels on their journey. Some are going to be towards the end with a level of understanding, with a level of peace. There's going to be others that are just getting ready to start. So are you seeing where you are on your journey? Are you seeing where you are on your path? Are you asking yourself the types of questions that nobody else would ask you? Are you putting your mentality in such that type of a place where what you have inside is what's most important? And a lot of times people are not doing that for themselves. They're not asking themselves those types of questions. They're not aligning their energy inside to that level. And so when we start to do that, when you start to get to that place where that alignment starts to happen, it's going to require to use the gifts and the tools that you have in the universe. It's going to require you to recognize you. It's going to require you to face off against you. It's going to require you to see that you have what it takes inside of you. A lot of times we're going to feel like this journey, it's going to have weight on it. It's going to have challenge in it. It's going to have, part of a purpose is to have challenges. It's to have a place where you can work through things, where you can face off against things, where the mentality inside of yourself has the ability. And when we put ourselves in that kind of a place with that kind of mentality, the mentality starts to allow us and give us permission to be who we truly are on the inside. Blessings, Milky Way.
Hi, sir.
It's wonderful to talk to you again, yeah?
How are you doing?
Very blessed, actually. Very, very blessed.
Nice to know. Nice to know.
Yeah.
What's up?
Well, one of the best things happened 2 days ago. One of my very first students went to pass this journey. And
What journey?
a life. And so
That's wonderful. Congratulations.
it was an honor, um, and I'm really happy about it because they had learned how to meditate with me, and they had sat down and done meditation. And when they had, they had the time to pass, they passed the same day, but they wouldn't pass without saying goodbye. And so I had their family say blessings for me to them, and within that day, and listen to a meditation session that they sat down and do meditation with me. And by the end of that day, they had passed.
Oh, that's great. That sounds great.
So
I recently got diagnosed with COVID.
with COVID.
So yeah.
Okay.
So I'm also quarantining at home and was thinking like I should also spend some time in meditation.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a very
So
important
I'm
thing.
seeking some advice.
Okay. I've never been tested, but the thing that hit me in December of last year almost killed me. Started at my throat, with my throat gland starting, and then it worked its way up into my eyes and then into my whole entire skin. I had a fever for 6 days straight and pneumonia afterwards. I was swallowing my lungs, and I went into Sprouts, which is like a store here, and I bought a thing called Kick-Ass Biotic. It has inside it has golden seal, and it took me a while to get it out. The thing stayed in my system for an additional 3 months. I was having headaches because of it. My ear was ringing, and eventually it went away. And I was driving a lot of people in San Diego, but the thing that's the most important is that pneumonia. I've had pneumonia 3 times in my life before I got this, so I know definitely what it feels like, And so.
No, I was just wondering how much a single person can take and how much you have been to.
So this thing dropped my weight massively. It drains your energy because the first 6 days of fever almost kills you.
Yeah, I can totally understand, and I was just wondering how much you have been to and still you have.
Okay, so the rebuilding myself from that level of place was to sit between 2 trees because I had no energy to go in the sauna. And I sat down between 2 trees and did meditation every day, pulling the energy from the trees.
Pulling the energy from the trees.
Yep.
You mean to say oxygen from the trees?
No. I mean energy from the trees. When you have 2 trees, when you have 1 tree, it doesn't work. But when you have 2 trees, it works.
What happens? Like, do you pluck out the fruits from the trees, and how you take the energy from the tree?
So the trees naturally have energy. They use the sun with energy, So the tree itself can actually create energy. But when you have two trees and you sit between two trees, the energy from both trees can be absorbed into your body.
Automatically.
Yes, it can automatically. However, it can at a higher level with meditation. So my body didn't have enough energy to produce energy because
Are you able to communicate with trees as well through meditation?
sure you can. It's a simple.
What do they tell you?
See, I don't speak to trees. I utilize energy in the universe. And so when your energy is so low,
Have you ever tried speaking to an animal or a tree?
well, animals have energy fields in them as well too. So they're
Have you ever tried speaking to them?
you can see their hearts, you can see the energy, you can see where they are.
No, I'm talking about the meditation part, not about a normal person part. Like, have they ever conveyed anything to you?
To a level, with a certain level, not a level that is hello, you know, but within a certain level, they have energy inside of their body. But the point is that the trees, but with the trees, the thing with the trees is when you are very, 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 very weak and you go sit between two trees, something very special happens. And so when you sit between two trees that are across from each other and you sit in the center, they have a great amount of healing power that comes from trees.
So, do you recommend me trying to sit in between the trees to heal myself?
Yeah. Well, that's a really great way to do it. You know, I did that when I had no energy. It really kicked my butt hard, really hard. And I mean, and
You never know what thing can end up curing corona.
so I'm not a doctor, so I can only say what I used.
But
So
you have experienced it.
so what I
That's
used,
something
yeah, so what I used,
but equally logical.
sure. So what I used is the things that I'm comfortable with. So I used golden seal, which helped me with. It's a natural herbal antibiotic, which helped me with the pneumonia, and I used lemons and salt, Himalayan salt.
Mm,
So with meditation, Himalayan salt turns into energy. And so with a loss of energy, you need more energy. And I didn't have enough energy to go back in the sauna because my body was too weak. So I sat between two trees to rebuild my energy. So
got the point. That's nice. And how's your life treating you? It has been a long time.
it is a blessing. Life is a blessing. Journeys are a blessing. This path is a blessing.
Do you have a girlfriend?
So when we understand that those types of challenges come through us for us to grow, we recognize that our own challenge is the thing that is the most important. See, when we allow people.
I'm asking whether you have a girlfriend.
Sure. So I'm trying to answer that question for you because my first student was my companion. So my
Okay.
companion had gotten to the point where, by me being around them, they had reached a stage where their progression, I was holding them to life.
Mhm.
So we have to understand that each individual journey is more important and that each of us are a company. Each of us is a path. Each of us is a journey. And sometimes we have to be taken from those journeys so that we can have the ability to progress upon our own journey. Yeah?
But why not walk together with someone?
So we are going to always find people that are going to come into our life, into our place, into our lights in the universe as they are. the thing that matters the most is that we understand our own purpose and we allow, this is the hardest part, to be honest with oneself to the point where they allow their path and their journey to continue even when you recognize that you are not a part of that, that you are actually stopping their progression, yeah? And so to understand, yeah, to understand this of what I'm saying is one of the most difficult things on the face of the planet, because a lot of the human traits comes from the ability to want to hold on. And sometimes we have to allow people to progress for themselves. That is one of the hardest tests that will ever come. Do you understand?
Yeah, sort of. Not completely, but yeah, sort of. I can understand.
In other words, people might hold you to a certain place when your purpose is greater than that. If you don't let yourself progress to that level because you're held back,
it's not about having something greater. I'm not competing two things.
it's not competing with somebody else. It's you being yourself. But
So it's not like two things are conflicting with each other.
let me go ahead and give an example. If you spend time in someone's life who's on the last page of their life, this could be a blessing. However, if the last page of their life they're waiting so that they can go to the next level or place for themselves or the place of their journey, and you're the one stopping them from progressing, then you have to sit back.
End up finding someone who will even encourage you to progress.
Yes, I understand. And there's people that come into your life for a short period of time that are meant to be in your life for that period of time. It's up to you to allow them on their journey. We each have our own individual journey.
What's your individual journey?
So, since the day that you were born, since the day that I was born, I've been on a journey. We all have.
Yeah.
So,
Journey with what purpose?
So what I mean by progress is expansion of focus and knowledge. Expansion of focus and knowledge.
And what will you gain with that?
Huh?
What will you gain with that knowledge and expansion?
Growth. Internal growth to the point where we no longer need this thing. See, this is a classroom.
Ultimately, you're going to die. So what will you do with that growth thing?
So expand beyond this thing. So when we give ourselves the permission to be inside this classroom, to be on this path, to be on this purpose, we are very simple. A human being is a very simple and complicated thing. The simplicity, to see the simplicity is very important. To see that you have an incoming breath.
What I'm trying to say, what is the point of sacrificing? Because one day you will also die and you won't come back. No one comes back when they die. Then what is the point of sacrificing? Why not enjoy what you like the most and just don't give a fuck about sacrificing the things?
Okay, so what I look at for life, for the journey that I'm on, is how I can learn and how I can grow inside so that the joy can be around me all the time, not just for just a minute.
We're waiting to grow so that you can feel joyful.
So when we write stuff down,
that's a logical purpose. I'm not like diluting it, but I think that's a logical purpose. So I just wanted to confirm, like, is this the goal?
So what I'm saying is that we all are a student in this life. Would you say?
No, I will let you complete.
Are you a student of your life?
I'm a student of my life. I don't think I'm a student. I'm a seeker. Maybe a seeker.
Okay, a seeker is a student of life. You are studying your life every day that you wake up, every day that you're in your day. You are studying your life. Whatever tools you use.
I'm not studying the life. I'm experiencing the life.
Experiencing the life is a part of studying. It's like a student going inside of a classroom and learning.
Yeah, but I'm not learning from any teachers.
We're learning from the greatest teacher, which is ourselves.
The happiness right here, right now.
See, it's not just about the singular moments.
How I can experience more happiness.
Through studying yourself, through getting to know you.
I think these are some questions which you make too serious, which are not contingent upon our happiness. We at times take these questions way too seriously.
Okay, so hear this. Emotion is a level of knowledge, okay? Emotion, all the feelings that one has, is a level of knowledge. So this comes down to a level of focus and knowledge. It's a simple.
Example of my country. So there are many people who leave their home and they take a samadhi at times. Like they leave their home and just meditate, or sometimes don't even meditate or just chant things which don't make sense, and then they take a drag or two and then they become happy. So that happiness is not a product of a knowledge. That happiness is a product of not taking themselves way too seriously.
Let me go ahead and show you what I mean by this. You ready to see what I mean? When they got to that place where they went to get to that place where they received that happiness, they gained the knowledge that they were happy. That's it. The knowledge, but check this out, that knowledge had to be a process. If they didn't go through that process to get there, if they didn't focus to that level to get to that place, they wouldn't be at that place.
I think given a choice, they would rather prefer having a drag and sleeping and dreaming amazing things rather than meditating.
So people that meditate are very special people as well. They spend the time to be students of life.
But I think at times people who meditate think that they have explored something.
It's more so about learning about yourself. See, the purpose of meditation is to learn from yourself. Self-knowledge. It's selflessness. It's not selfishness. Meditation is all about selflessness. It's all about selflessness. It's about...
I think it is about taking themselves way too seriously.
Well, some people come from an angle, but at the angle in which the point of humbleness comes through meditation, the simplicity of meditation, it all comes from self-study. It all comes from oneself getting down to understand, to overcome their challenges. And so we have people... So all those things, emotions, fears, are broken focus. All those things are broken focus. So those come from the level of elevation, just like the mountains are. So a mountain, I'm giving you an example of what I mean by this. A mountain has both altitude and latitude. And each of those has a purpose. And so mentality has the same place. We have our level of fight and flight, slavery and emotion, time and organization, and then focus and knowledge. And center is you. This thing is discipline. So how much time you spend at whatever level in energy inside of yourself, which individual energy between the 7 energy fields that exist inside of you.
Yeah, I got the point what you're trying to say, and I appreciate it. I'm just trying to say is that, so for example, there are things called sexual needs. Like, do you feel aroused at time?
Okay, so each individual energy field, this is why meditation is very special. Each individual energy field is a part of a combination called you. So you're red, your orange, your yellow, your green, your blue, your purple, and your white energy fields are all the Nadi system, for example. A lot of people that come to me to learn from me about the Nadi system are people that are claustrophobic, that need to learn how to fire off the nervous system to get the nervous system so that they can be around people. A lot of people that come to me for the ability to stand their ground. They come to me for the ability to get their mentality to flow. They come to me to get their elevation up. They come to me to be able to speak, to be able to have depth perception, for their brains to become clearer. This is all parts of self-study. This is all the connection with the breath to be the breath to body. A lot of people go to do yoga for body to breath, but they forget about the breath to body.
Yeah, it's I will come to the question. Do you feel aroused at times?
Huh?
Do you feel aroused at times? Sexually aroused?
So I want you to understand that each individual energy field, when being utilized properly in the right way, has a purpose. So I'm trying to answer this.
I'm not talking about the purpose. I'm talking about simple sexual arousal. Do you feel aroused at times or not?
So of course, every single human being across the face of the planet is a human.
Let's pause it here. So do you think that's a bad sort of energy, or that's a distraction?
This is where I could tell the level of elevation needs to increase. You're looking from a singular angle. We got to look from a universal angle.
I got the point. I'm asking you just a very straight question.
No, because you're asking it from a level. May I elevate? Let me go ahead and elevate now. Let me go ahead and bring it to where I look from. You see this right here? You see the angle that you see it from? Look at how many other angles there are. Okay? Do you see this angle over there? So this angle is called your opinion. This angle is called my opinion. So I don't focus on things from a good or bad angle. I focus on things from the way the universe looks at it, as a positive and negative. As Einstein,
How universe do not care what you look at and what you don't look at.
so what I'm saying is you can only see through your eyes. I can only see through my eyes, but there's still a universal angle.
I think we can move pretty sure that black holes don't give a fuck about what we're doing here.
Okay, what I'm telling you is that the angle in which we're looking from is only what we're seeing through our eyes. There's a bigger angle.
Yes, I'm saying, are you referring to some dimensions which you cannot see beyond the third dimension?
So what I'm saying is that when we look from a higher level, which is positive and negative forces in the universe, it's not about good or bad anymore.
So what are positive and negative forces in the universe?
So, as Newton says, for each action there's an equal and opposite reaction.
Okay.
So when we start to think about things from this angle, we start to raise our mentality to a place to see if this was a positive force.
But is it the right application? The Newton law applies basically on matter.
It applies to you as well. When you do things positive, don't expect the negativities are not going to be there. It's up to you to understand it, my friend. You can apply it in your everyday. You can choose to live by universal, or you can choose to live by singular. When you live by singular, you're still affected by universal.
That's not a field where Newton laws and Einstein's law apply.
It applies in everything we do. If you walk outside, you leave the place inside the room. You're going to a different place. That space where you were no longer has you there. From a universal angle, we look at things and our journey as positive and negative forces in the universe.
Do you know how big universe universe is.
It is
And
gigantic.
how are we to comment upon the universe?
It is massive, this universe. But I recognize
Yeah.
that we are
So
just a tool in the
let's
universe.
not say that we know what is the universal angle and all that. Then we know nothing.
We
about
know that for each action,
just tell me the galaxy which is in neighbor of the Milky Way galaxy. Can you name the galaxy?
let me go ahead and explain to you what Newton found out. That for each action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. I'm asking you a question. Okay, I'm telling you a statement at this point. I'm telling you a statement at this point. Newton looked, he saw that for each action we do, there's an equal and an opposite reaction. This is a Newton law, universal law written down. You can go online, pull it up anywhere you go. You can look up Newton's third law. It's up to you to understand this or not. If you allow yourself to elevate yourself to that level where you recognize this, you can bypass the thought process of good and bad. Because that is just a thought process to choose that it's good and to choose that it's bad.
I would think, quite honestly, that's the right way to apply Newton's law.
It is. If you take a step, if you put one thing in one direction, something has to go in the other direction.
Newton's law in the manner in which you're applying.
It applies in every way. Not only that, amongst the whole entire world, those that are actually hidden behind and actually are protected by many, okay, I'm talking about any kind of temple, they understand this level. Those people understand this level. And that's why they have those people in front of them, because they understand this level of what I'm talking about.
Don't follow Buddha.
Simple. Your internal breath comes in. What has to go out?
No, I'm saying don't follow Buddha.
I have only learned from the stuff that I have learned. So what I'm trying to explain to you is what I've learned. This is motivation, meditation, and inspiration. This is about focus, knowledge, and discipline. If you'd like, you're welcome. If you have others you want to follow, blessings be to you. But what I'm saying is, what I have learned from the years that I have done meditation, that I have learned that it's as simple as your breath. You have an incoming breath.
How old are you?
I have been doing meditation for nearly a decade.
So I assume you are around 35 years.
So I am actually 34, getting ready to turn 35. And I have already had students.
That's nice. That's quite commendable that you started meditation at 24. That's quite good.
So my place is almost at the 10 year. So I'm getting close.
What do you do for a living? Apart from meditating, what do you do for a living? How do you manage your living?
So at this point, I'm in the process of getting ready to just become a complete teacher. People are searching me out on a constant basis. I've just had my first student progress.
Teach meditation and all that.
This is the thing. Where I live, I've actually gotten this thing. This is the thing that I'm going to be doing for a living. Do you understand that?
Yeah, and I think that's a nice thing because at times it really helps people, the meditation as a process to get through tough times and all that. So yeah, I got the point, but as of now, do you earn or how do you earn your living?
So at this point, I'm in the process of working to have that. This is my focus. I spent lots of years doing other things,
Right now.
and I am in the process of becoming this, which I already am inside. This is a reflection on the outside from within.
In which state you are in US?
Arizona.
Arizona. How's the life there?
It's blessed.
It's blessed, and that's good. Can you show me out of the window like how it looks? If you don't mind.
So I can't right now because I'm on multiple networks.
Oh, that's okay, that's okay. I got it when you showed me the screens and all that.
Yeah, so because that I can't. But what I can say is that from the journey that I have been on, from the people that I have taught, it's as simple as our breath.
Oh,
So what I'm trying to say, though, is it's as simple as your breath. You have an incoming breath. You have a center breath. You have an outgoing breath, right?
Yeah.
So allow it to have that process even in the mentality. Each action, there's an equal and an opposite. It's up to us to understand it.
What I'm doing right now is I'm feeling deep, but I'm not using enough breath. So that proves
Do
that
you
that's
breathe?
wrong.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let me go ahead and show you what I mean by this in a different way. Is that fair? So,
Yeah.
so do you breathe? Yes, right?
Yeah.
So you have an incoming breath, right?
Yeah, of course.
And that breath is a part of a process, is it? Or as Sadhguru would say, isn't it? It is.
Yeah.
So if our incoming breath is a part of our process, then we must have a place which is a center breath between the two breaths, the incoming center and then the out, right?
Okay.
The place of this center breath is you.
And I'm not that incoming breath.
You're not the incoming breath and you're not the outgoing breath. You're the center breath. The process of going through that.
I'm the one who breathes and governs this process.
You're the one that
I'm
breathes.
at the center of I'm everywhere.
Yes, you're the center. You're the classroom. This thing here.
I'm not only at the center.
So when you have a breath comes in and then it goes back out.
A breath is not something which you can differentiate from me. It is same as I am. It is as much me as I am right now.
I'm not saying that it's not a part of you. What I'm saying is that you is mass and energy, as Einstein stated. Mass and energy is interchangeable sources. So our incoming breath comes in, converts inside of our body. That conversion, that software that goes inside of the body that converts with the hardware, this is you. This center place, this thing that uses that incoming breath, that has that outgoing breath.
Some soul or anything. That's a soul.
It's a process. The simplicity would say it's just a process, let it be. But when you start to study the incoming breath, we find that in meditation, there's a strength in the incoming breath. There's a strength in the knowledge expansion inside in the center breath, and the releasing of that breath has a mastery as well.
That's an outgoing breath.
So, when you close your eyes and you sit down and you work through the energy fields inside of the body, you're working on your incoming breath. When you are sitting and you're in a place where you're in your center and you are giving yourself that space to hold your breath, you're allowing yourself to extract that knowledge inside of yourself, inside of the classroom. So this is an expansion inside. So this means...
What about farts? What about farts when human farts? Is that an outgoing breath? But there is a breath incoming. There is no incoming of the breath, but there is only
Like I was saying, the lowest level would look at that as a simplicity. That definitely has got to be an outgoing, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, but there has to be a reaction and what you're trying to say, the Newton laws. Every action is an equal or opposite reaction. So there is no incoming fart, but there is an outgoing fart.
Sure there is. Give you an example. You drink water, right? Have you ever choked on water?
What?
Have you ever choked on water?
No.
So you've never drinking water and it went down the wrong pipe.
Oh, yeah, it has happened, it has happened.
So I'm just saying it is a part of the process. We just must simplify it. We must understand there's strength in the incoming breath. There's strength in the process of focus. There's strength within oneself.
What about the soul? Do you think the soul exists?
The what?
Soul, soul.
Say that again. I can barely hear you there.
Do you think the soul exists?
The what?
Soul, soul, human soul.
Shiva. Shiva.
Soul.
The she. What?
Soul, soul, my brother. Soul. S-O-U-L, soul.
The soul. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking about something that now we're talking about something that comes from the Patanjali scripts at this point. So because
What are Patanjali scripts?
right, well, I'm trying to answer your question with the best Indian possible for the best understanding of it. So, have you read the Patanjali scripts? Have you listened to the Patanjali scripts?
Yeah.
So, this is a part of the oversoul. So, in all of India, they understand the purpose of the creator of this universe, wouldn't you say? So, they call it the source.
Yeah.
So, we're talking about the oversoul at this point. So we were talking about the white energy field, which runs through the 20,000 nerves which run the Nadi system, yeah? We're talking about the white energy field, which runs through the universe, which is known as knowledge, right? Biblically, it's also known as Alpha Omega, which means that the highest level achieved of humankind, other than people who are talked about to have reached the blue and red energy field levels beyond the energy field levels, which were focus beyond focus and knowledge beyond knowledge, to a place of discipline beyond discipline, to go to a place where they could have left if they wanted to, but did not leave, right? So these people have reached levels. Now, if I take you to the British Museum in London, we find that they had white energy field circulars around their bodies on a lot of the pictures, yeah? Which means they had an understanding of this as well, too. So, what we're talking about here, realistically, is levels of elevation in understanding of the universe.
I once went to this place called Dharamshala. Dharamshala is a place where the Dalai Lama lives.
So,
And she told me that she got to know about that I was about to come from an aura.
right, and so the universe allows people to understand this stuff.
Really see that
I can give you an example.
a white and a red and an orange circle behind me. And he said that he has never seen that before.
So,
And I know that he kept on asking me questions that how this happened, and like it was quite strange what.
see, but you got to understand, I'm going to give you an example biblically. I'm going to give you an example. And this is also in the Patanjali scripts. This also is in the Patanjali scripts. There's people with spiritual powers across the face of the planet. Biblically, they're talking about revelators, seers, okay? And so these different people, but the most important piece, how about I say, the most important piece is to understand our own purpose and how the universe can utilize the tools and the gifts that we have inside. So, for one to be able to understand one piece may not mean that they understand a different piece. Do you understand this? But this is specifically talked about in the Patanjali script. The Oversoul has been talked. The Lord of Man has been talked about biblically. Patanjali also. So the purpose of the cow is that they understand that the Most High, right, that creator of this universe, the Most High, was a lot of those people, they're in a place where they are very vegetarian. They are not with a lot of meat. So the only thing that they have is a blessing to have a cow. The blessing to have that cow there is an honor for them, because this means the people in their village will survive, right? So this is a blessing. So the understanding of the purpose of the things and the utilization of things is simplicity. to see how they're grateful for the things that they do have. They understand the knowledge and the purpose and the path in their own journey.
Okay, I got the point.
But it's
What do you think happens after we die?
okay. Next, very good question here. So, we have 7 bodies of energy inside of our body. And there are 2 external energies written and spoken about in India. Red and blue, right?
Yeah.
Blue number 2 and red number 2. You know what I'm talking about. 9th and 10th gates, yeah? But there's also the golden gate,
I have no idea.
the golden gate, which I don't know anybody across the face of the planet that has achieved the golden gates. I'm still waiting to hear of a story of a person who has achieved the golden gates. There are people who have gotten the golden aura.
Buddha achieved golden gate.
Golden gate is the God, the creator of this universe. That's his. We can use this. We can get to the place where we run out of our energy inside of ourselves and we connect to it, where we can use the source. But we are not the source. Do you understand what I'm saying?
But why do you feel that this universe was created at first place?
So why do I feel this way? Because the energy inside of our bodies is 7-fold. There's 7 bodies inside of the body. The whole entire body is like a silhouette of energy. When you think a thought and you sit down and you try to cross your legs, if your thought process is not right, it becomes very difficult. If we put you in the right thought process, the reflection radiates outwards with the knowledge from within. So this says that the body is clay to the mind. So this is why people who want to go and sit down with a teacher, which is an understanding of oneself to the level with a relation with the Most High, has its purpose. Yeah? This is why they make them sit for 4 years cross-legged in front of the teacher, so that they can focus on doing one thing so well that when they choose to do something, they recognize the tool that they are. That is why. That is why you see those teachers, and that is why you see those people fail. Because they don't have the patience to have the understanding that it takes time for you to grow. So, first, we must master our morning. We must put a time for self-study, self-mastery, self-journey, and giving our place to be a tool in the universe for the things that we have, not for what we don't have. It's always about what you do have. And it's about that knowledge inside of yourself to achieve that level. And so as you do this, it's going to require self-honesty. Do you understand what I'm saying? As one achieves self-honesty, the ability to be oneself has the ability to elevate the knowledge to that level. If you don't give yourself that place, you can go a very long time ignoring yourself. A lot of people do this, and they don't care. The one who does care starts the path. So I see that there's still a lot of growth required, and that a lot of it has stayed down into that orange energy field. And the reason why he didn't understand is because you still have a lot of progression to go. This person, even if they did meditation, they're not a reader. They're just a seer. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm an energy reader. I can read energy. I used to go in the sauna and sit down. Huh?
Can you read energy through my voice?
So I can read into the universe. It's using me as a tool. I'm just a tool in the universe. The things that the gifts that I use, that the Most High made for me, the ones they made for you.
Do you think you understand this?
So, you see that, but this is the reason why you got to start writing stuff down. You see, because you got to progress past that orange energy field. You got to get to that place.
Can I request you one thing?
Huh?
So I'm going to ask you a few questions, and can you answer them in yes or no?
I'm not going to answer stuff in yes or no's because that's my opinion.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not questioning your opinion. I'm just saying that can you simply say yes or no to some answers
Just
so that we can where we disagree and where we
just say what you need to say.
understand what you're trying to say.
Just say what you need to say.
Yeah. So do you think you understand the universe?
Do I think that I understand the universe? This is a very good question. We're always growing, okay? Our understanding of the universe is always growing. Have I come to a place where I respect the universe? Definitely. I love this universe. I recognize that I'm a purpose in this universe, as we all are. But do I?
10 galaxies which exist in the universe.
Do I understand that we are all tools in this universe, that we are all part of the process?
Can you tell me the name of 10 galaxies which exist in the universe?
The connections that exist in the universe, that is not for it.
The name of the galaxies that exist in this universe.
That's why I told you I'm still learning, my friend. We all are.
There are trillions of galaxies in this universe, and
Like I was saying, we are all learning.
And I'm just trying to just tell you that we don't understand the universe, and let's not claim we understand.
What I'm saying to you is the process that you live in. Let me ask you a question. Let me go ahead and tell you something. I went inside a store, and I was inside the store, and you go inside this place, and the person is feeding people, and you walk inside, and they have a barrel. Inside the barrel, there is fish, right? Inside the barrel, there is fish. You look inside the fish, and you see that the fish is happy in the fish's world, right? He's swimming around in the fish's world.
Yeah, so you're like a frog who is happy in his wherever you want to explore the world.
Hold on. Let me go ahead and show you the example of what I'm trying to say. So this waiter there, I explained to him because I had just gone and done meditation inside a sauna. So my body was in Zen. I was in a place of peace. I go inside and I see this fish inside of this tank. And I say to him, so I look out and I see all these people, right? Sitting down. And I recognize that they are all in that fishbowl. They are all in that purpose. They are all on their path. They are all on their journey, right? So it's that simplicity that to get to know this thing, to get to work with this thing, to get to grow and learn how to use the process of this thing, is that's the understanding that I understand in this universe. We all have this for ourselves. It's up to us to sit down and study it. You can only have your world. You can only have your world. Nobody else can have your world. And there's also an internal universe that's going on as well, too. So it's just to get down to the simplicity. We don't need to complicate it. We need to simplify it so we can have beautiful lives, so that we can live in such a way that we can see the positivity and to focus into the positivity. So the things that are moving in motion in this direction, in your direction, are moving into positive ways.
Okay, I'm really sort of asleep, I took medications, and I think I should doze off.
Okay, my friend, blessings. It was an honor to speak to you again, okay?
Bye, take care of yourself.
Blessings. Okay, you as well, Milky Way. Okay. So what a wonderful conversation that was. Getting down with the connections of knowledge and focus, getting into the place within ourselves, understanding that each day is going to bring different challenges, getting down to the place where we're using that knowledge, that focus. All you have is this. You have this journey, you have this path. Are you putting yourself in that place? Are you giving yourself the ability to be that blessing in the universe? To see yourself, your purpose, your journey as a place, as an ability to utilize this universe, to utilize what you have, to use the gifts and the things that you have inside of yourself. We need to see this for ourselves. We got to give ourselves permission to use our energy properly, to use our world properly, to see that searching after positivity is a part of your path, your journey, and that you can do that for yourself, that you can do that in such a way that you can recognize it, and that you are a blessing in this universe. So are we asking ourselves these questions? Are we giving ourselves this kind of permission? And so each day that we strive to do this, the light shines a little bit brighter. The knowledge and focus gets that greater connection. The ability for this journey to be worth it is there for you. And I want you to see that discipline is you to be you in your fishbowl. It's you to be you in your universe. It's you to be you on your path, your journey, that the light can shine through you and around you. And I want to leave you with these blessings. And I want to say that you guys are blessings in this universe, that you are lights in this universe, that you can shine, that you can be positive, you can search for the things that make the light come from within you out. And I want to leave you with blessings as always, and namaste.